can you go to I look at guys like Terence Crawford.
Right.
Terence Crawford can be a lot bigger than he is. How can you make, and this shows that racism still exists. How can you say that Lomachenko is better than Terence Crawford? Not at all. Not in a million years. Not at all.
Are they unsure? Floyd, you were sure yourself. You were sure you could do it. Are they unsure? Do they not okay, they're fighting. Why haven't more fighters struck out on their own?
It's not really, I got loose because me as a promoter, right now, I know what fighters want because I've been on both ends.
Right.
I was a fighter, so I know what you're looking for. I know how you need to be. I know how you need to be promoted because right now, Gervonta Tank Davis is one of the most exciting fighters, or is the most exciting fighter in the sport of boxing right now.
Those are the words of Floyd Money Mayweather as he critiques Terence Bud Crawford. He asked, why is Terence with Bob Arum or still with Bob Arum? And he says that racism exists based on the segment of the video of Shay Shay. Shout outs to Shannon Sharp for conducting this interview. But he's saying, that shows you that racism does exist, because how can you say Lomachenko is better than Terence Crawford? Me personally, I don't think he's better than Terence Crawford. Is he highly skilled? Yes, he is. Is he one of the best amateurs around? Yes, he is. Ever. Probably so. Just for the things that he knows how to do. And the thing about both of those guys, they challenge themselves to the utmost. Okay? And as far as Floyd talking about Terence Crawford, I think that Floyd, he's been on both sides. He's been a fighter and a promoter, but I think at the end of the day, I think that Floyd, the only reason he left Bob Arum is because Bob Arum wouldn't give him what he wanted. And that's a fact. Okay? Floyd wanted $20 million to fight Oscar De La Hoya. He wanted that. Bob Arum wouldn't give it to him. Okay, fine. He pulled a ballsy move. He had people behind him. He had smart people behind him, and they told him and they rolled with him and they supported him. And he did what he did. And the rest is history. But it wasn't because I was just this smart person and decided to do this. No, Bob Arum took care of him. Bob Arum promoted him. Bob Arum did everything that he wanted to do with him. Now, is Bob Arum holding Terence Crawford back? Maybe so. But Terence Crawford himself is comfortable. Until the time Terence Crawford comes to the point, or that bridge to cross with Bob Arum, well, Bob Arum can't deliver, and he knows that, I think it's time for him to do exactly what Floyd Mayweather did. But racism in the sport of boxing, does it exist? Shit, yeah, it exists. But at the same time, you can't use that as an example based on what Bob Arum says, because Bob Arum promotes both fighters. And Bob Arum will say, well, hey, he's one of the best pound, unless someone can come tell me that Bob Arum said that. If Bob Arum said that, okay, just to save the argument that Lomachenko is better than Terence Crawford, no, he's dead wrong 100%. Because Terence Crawford he's Thanos'd 2 weight classes. 135, Thanos, undisputed. 140, Thanos, undisputed. Took every belt there, every gym there. 147, he wants to do the same. Now, if Bob Arum can't deliver based on money, and it seems like Bob is having problems with money. It seems like Bob has always had problems with money. So do I fault Floyd for saying that? Hell no. Because Floyd did the best decision for him. But is the decision better for Terence Crawford? That remains to be seen. But if Bob Arum is saying that Lomachenko is better than Terence Crawford, there's no difference than Oscar De La Hoya saying Ortiz is better than Ryan Garcia. Okay, I think it is Victor Ortiz. No, it's not Victor Ortiz. Forget his name, but that's the same. Because you're creating rivalry within your own stable. That's never healthy with a promoter. And I wouldn't want a promoter to do that unless they're going to have those fighters fight each other, which he ain't trying to do. Okay, so I think that causes friction. I think that causes controversy. But as far as Mayweather saying, hey, he could be so much bigger, I believe he could be bigger. But the question is, does Terence Crawford want to be bigger than he is now? He's done more than Floyd has done. Floyd has just made more money doing what he's been doing because he's around people that actually thought for him. Okay? But as far as Terence Crawford himself, if he can't get the fights, I'm with Floyd on that. Hey, he needs to move around. Why not? People do it. You have to make decisions for yourself. You have to. Because if you don't, you'll always be behind someone else, and you'll always be that fighter behind this promoter that didn't push you to the right level. Counterpunch. So what Floyd's saying, and first of all, when someone says with all due respect, they're about to disrespect you. In his case, he said, I don't want to throw shade. Then you're about to throw some shade. You just don't want them to take it a certain way because you're about to say something that's not tasteful or not that a person necessarily doesn't want to hear. And I don't think Terence Crawford really wants to hear that coming from Floyd Mayweather. But, but Floyd's right. Terence Crawford could be bigger than what he is. Maybe he does. Bob Arum does have, he has Shakur Stevenson. He has Terence Crawford. He has Lomachenko. Those guys, though, you got a younger guy, then an older seasoned Olympian. Then you have Terence Crawford there. And all these guys are very, very highly skilled and very elite. Maybe it's time for you to leave. Maybe. But the question is, this is the major question. If Floyd is giving all this advice, is he able to take Terence Crawford under his wing? And how will he promote him? That's another question. If he promotes Terence Crawford, will he promote him to be the guy that he was, turns into the quote-unquote bad guy, the shitty guy or whatever? You know what I mean? I don't think Terence Crawford, he even rolls like that because they have two different personalities. Floyd Mayweather, I'm a gorilla, I'm a dog. This is Floyd Mayweather, I'm the TBE, I'm the money. Nobody can be above me. All that shit. Like I said before, I'm the best. That's not Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford's more of a laid-back kind of guy. So how would he even do if he had, because obviously he would have better plans for Terence Crawford if he feels that he can do better. Obviously, he's looked at it as though him promoting Terence Crawford, right? So it's one of those things, but for him saying that, hey, Terence Crawford, he criticizes Terence Crawford for being with Bob Arum. Look, Bob Arum, I feel, in Floyd Mayweather, he would think that. So it comes off bias. Why? By experience. Because Floyd had a run-in with Bob. So for anybody, as opposed to Floyd Mayweather and Bob Arum, they don't get along for shit. That was like, they don't. Floyd does not like Bob Arum. He does not respect Bob Arum. Maybe the things he used to do, but at the end of the day, anybody that gets with Arum, he's going to shine. He's going to shun you. Okay, so that's that. So if someone that has bad, deep-rooted rivalry like in past, like Mayweather and Arum, you don't expect Floyd to say anything positive about Bob Arum. Not as far as current pound-for-pound fighters. But that doesn't mean that Floyd's not right. But it also means it could be biased at the same time. But anyway, guys, that's my counterpunch. You guys tell me what you think about Floyd Mayweather critiquing Terence Crawford for staying with Bob Arum. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.